Hi, welcome to the Tre-J Show. This is a special episode. As you know, my name is Andrew Zorman, and our guest today is Adam Zorman. Today, we're going to be talking about the comic book. It's a webcomic that Adam just launched called Frontierlands. So, without any further ado, let's get right into this for those people that are super excited to have a meet and greet with our author, with the author here. So, what is Frontierlands? And where did you kind of get the idea to start it?
Frontierlands is, like you said, it's an action-adventure, sort of sci-fi-like webcomic. It gets a lot of its reference from old manga, not old manga, but manga like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Hunter x Hunter.
For people who aren't familiar with what he just listed, is a bunch of anime, and manga is Japanese comic books. So, continue, please.
It's kind of set in a modern world with a bit of a barbarian, Middle Ages style aesthetic. The main character is the chieftain of his tribe, and he's just trying to get stronger so he can protect them.
What is the main character's name?
His name is Francio, and his last name is a secret.
Which I'm assuming will be revealed at some point down the road in the
comics. There's actually a big plot point when it comes to his last name.
Excellent. Kind of what is Francio's story that you're going to be... I mean, obviously don't go into the details. I believe we've got 2 issues out right now, which are available on Adam's website. You can find Frontierlands either through Facebook, through Twitter, or you can look up the website. We will also have links available for all of those in the description below. But yeah, if you could describe a little bit of where you're building to without necessarily revealing too much for...
Well, so far, as I've said, Francio, he's the chieftain. He inherited the role. It's explained that the role is something you either inherit, you are chosen directly by the previous chieftain to take over, or you can get the role through battle by battling the current chieftain. Francio inherited the role. And he also isn't the strongest person in the world, and he just wants to get strong enough so that way he can keep his title. Currently in the series, he is trying to recover some explorers, which that's another big lore piece, is what explorers are. And
can you go a little bit into, you mentioned that it's got a lot of like barbarian lore and kind of based off of, you know, that kind of barbarian setting. Can you go into a little bit more of how that fits in with what Frontierlands is and how that builds the world a little bit?
Frontierlands itself, like the setting of Frontierlands is like it's basically a gigantic forest clearing, like Alaska-sized forest clearing with 5 tribes that live inside of it. And each of the 5 tribes are based off of a different barbarian tribe of, I can't remember the exact name of the era off the top of my head. I could always look at my research notes, but like, for instance, Francio is actually based off the founder of the mythical founder of the Franks, which is why he is the chieftain of the Franca tribe. Other pieces of like a barbarian and Norse mythology also come a lot into it. Rune abilities are all based off the 3 abilities that druids were thought to have. The main character Boudica is named after a famous. She was a tribal leader, kind of like William Wallace, but it was different time, different war, of course.
Can you describe a little bit? I know it's kind of being revealed throughout the plot of what's available right now through the Frontierlands and stuff. But can you describe a little bit of what the Rune Powers are and kind of where you got the idea for those?
Rune Powers are... This is actually doing some research into druids, barbarian middle-aged druids. And druids were thought to have 3 main capabilities. The ability to ability to influence and be connected with nature. They could shapeshift. And they could also conjure. They could conjure spirits. So I took that idea and decided that there are 3 different rune abilities. Runes are just symbols that are scattered about the world, like runes in Norse mythology. And the 3 rune types are, of course, nature-type runes, allows you to control an aspect of nature. Shaping runes, which allow you to transform into not just animals. Later on, I'm probably going to do something that turns someone into like a castle or something like that. And the final type is conjuring rune, where you can conjure different objects that you can control.
Okay. So, where did you kind of come up with the idea for this? What was some of your inspirations for wanting to do a webcomic and the ideas for Frontierlands? Like, why this specific and not like, you know, a more traditional superhero or a more traditional, you know, Japanese manga type story.
I got the idea to do a webcomic first off because I've always wanted to be a comic writer. The intensity that I wanted to become one kind of waned and waxed over the years, but in the last couple of years I decided I really want to do this. I really enjoy writing comic book scripts. And I decided, well, I'm not getting any younger, and it doesn't seem like any...
Yes, not getting any younger at 20 years old.
Yes. But, you know, I'm not going... It doesn't seem to be going anywhere, just requesting comic companies to hire me, so I thought, I'll just do it myself. So I went out and found an artist. As far as the way it's written is, I wanted to try to take some of the ways... Because I really do like superheroes are a genre of their own. But I always thought it was a bit limiting. Because you can still have stories about people who basically kick the crap out of each other, awesome fight scenes, things like that, well, having very superhero aesthetics, but you don't need to limit yourself to people in masks, which I kind of saw that in various, like, manga, like I said, Naruto, One Piece, all like that. I kind of wanted to blend them together using American comic style writing and manga storytelling.
Oh, excellent. And how about the process of, because I know you don't do your own art, the process of going out and finding an artist, and who is your artist?
My current artist she's from Spain. Her name is Raquel Iglesias. I think I'm pronouncing that right. That was a hassle to find a good artist. I have found that finding a good artist who will both, A, respond to you when you message them, saying, would you like to do this? Finding someone who will work for less than about $50 per page, and finding someone who's willing to stick with you was difficult. But after a couple tries and finding various people, I found Raquel, who does phenomenal art. She's willing to work with me she's willing to work with me. She always asks me if the pages look good, and she, in herself, she's very good at her job. I'm very happy to work with her.
All right, so is there anything else that you'd like to share about Frontierlands? Anything you're planning for any upcoming issues? Like, when is the next issue going to be released? Do you know?
The next issue will probably be released in maybe sometime next week, which today is the 28th of October, so...
So sometime probably, start paying attention on the Facebook for around Halloween. Maybe we'll get a nice Halloween launch for it.
The current arc we're in will last for is going to be about 5 issues, and we just got the first issues out currently, working on the second one, and then after that we're going to try to go for a bit of a longer arc next time. Current one is the Frontiers arc, and next we're going into the Bergian saga, where they all go to to the tribe lands of the Bergian, and, the first arc will be the Andrew arc. So, yeah.
All right. As I said earlier, please follow Adam on Facebook and on Twitter. If you're interested in the comic, please go to his website, and read the comic. And if you would like to help him continue to make the comic, because it's not free to do, you can always donate to him through his website and through Patreon. So, any final thoughts you've got?
Other than I've learned that if you really want to start something, at some point you just have to sit down and do it. That's what I learned starting the webcomic, is I want to become a comic writer. I just had to sit down and actually do it.
So yeah, make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow us here at Tre-J. You can find all of our links also down below, and then make sure you like and follow Adam as well. Hopefully, once this final arc is out, we can have Adam back on the show and we can discuss Frontierlands a little bit more. Also, if you've got any questions you would like to direct either to Tre-J or to Adam, make sure you put that below in the comments. So we will see you next time.